Okay, Rabotai, we are on live. Welcome to everyone. We're going to start with a few halachot before we begin the Musar class. Today we want to discuss what blessings do we bless on a lemon, and does it make a difference if it's sweet, sour, or if it's unbearable to eat? Okay? So the first halakha is going to state, if you have sweet lemon and you are able to eat it, we're going to tell you that the blessing on the lemon is borei pri ha'etz. If you are eating lemon where it's sour, but it's still bearable, you still could eat it, over there we're going to tell you that the blessing is shahakol niya b'dvoro. It is not going to be borei pri ha'etz. However, if the lemon is so bitter, it is so sour, that it's unbearable to eat, but you are forcing yourself to eat it, there is no blessing that has to be said on it. Okay, so we have three different opinions.
Don't you say the blessing before, the bracha before?
I'm speaking about the blessing before, correct. I'm speaking about the blessing
But
before.
how would you know if it's...
So you could always taste it, you could always taste food without first saying a bracha.
Gotcha.
Okay? Now, the next thing we want to see today regarding sucking sweet lemon or orange. Let's say you take an orange and you want to start taking the juice out from the lemon or the orange. What blessing do you have to say? So Chacham Ovadia brings down, he says, when it comes to sweet lemon or when it comes to an orange, if you are biting down, if you're putting it in your mouth and you're biting it down on the lemon or on the orange, let's say the slice of the orange, and that's how you're going to suck out the juice from the orange, the blessing is going to be borei pri ha'etz. However, if I am not biting down on it, let's say I take a slice, I put it in my mouth, and I'm sucking out the juice like that, or I take a straw and I put it into the orange itself, or I squeeze out the orange into a cup, the blessing is going to be shahakol niya b'dvoro. Okay, since I'm not biting down on it, the blessing is going to be shahakol niya b'dvoro, because you're not really eating it. Now, this is a tricky one. If a person wants to eat chocolate, a lot of times when you eat chocolate, I don't know how many of you guys do it, I usually don't bite on the chocolate. You'll put it in your tongue and you like to suckle on it, until it goes away. What bracha do you say on chocolate?
Shahakol.
Good. What's the after blessing that you're going to say on chocolate?
Sure.
If you ate a kazayid within 7 minutes, what is the after blessing when you're sucking it, Ilan? So Chacham Ovadia says you don't say any after blessing. Why? Because you're not biting down on the chocolate. So therefore Chacham Ovadia says even if you ate more than a kazayit in the proper time of frame, you don't have to say borei nefashot. However, he says, but let's say you bit down on the chocolate like you eat, and then you're going ahead and you're suckling on it, or you're sucking on it, and that's the way you are basically allowing it to digest into your system. Over there, we're going to tell you do have to bless an after blessing, but that's as long as you ate 27 or 28 grams within about 7 minutes. Okay, Rabota, is this clear?
Yes, Rabbi John.
Okay.
Rabbi John.
Okay, Nisan John, how are you? We have to remember, Rabota, it is very important to say our berachot, because like we mentioned last time, I don't like to be repetitive, but when we mentioned last time that if I take a food and I consume it without saying the proper bracha, whether it's going to be a before blessing or after blessing, we need to know our halachot. Comes out of here, Rabotai, that we are stealing from Hashem. I'm going to give you an example. Would any one of you in the right state of mind take out a Sefer Torah, put it on your table, and have a nice festival meal? Barbecue like today, a lot of people are doing. Would you do it, Jagarik?
Never.
Why not?
Because
Because it's disrespectful on the Torah.
Okay, so that's called we're misusing consecrated property, which you're not allowed to do. So that's what the halacha states, and also brought down in the Gemara, that whenever we don't bless on the foods their proper barachot, we are stealing from Hashem. We're using something which is consecrated. Food is holy until we bless on it, then it becomes ours. Until we bless on it, it's Hashem's. Once we bless on it, it becomes ours. So that's why it's very, very important to know how to bless. Today, Rabotai, I'll be honest with you, with everything you have on the internet, or you can always, call a rabbi and you can always find out the barachot. You should always go ahead and find out the barachot. There's certain apps they have for this. They have certain websites. You go, whatever you want, with the click of a button, they give you all the barachot. What needs to be said? How do you have to say it? Translated, transliterated. So really you have everything at the tip of your fingers. Okay. Now, Rabotai, we're going to move on. I want to speak about today Jigarik. Jigarik, what's so funny, Jiggy?
Sorry, I just remembered something. Sorry.
Okay.
Love you, Rabbi.
Rabotai, I want to speak about, there's a concept that says, Oil Rashav, Oil Shecheno. Woe to the wicked person and woe to his neighbor. Now, what does that mean? What does it mean, woe to the evil person and woe to his neighbor? Now, just imagine for yourself for a second. If you have next door to you, Jigarik, there's a sewer line, like what happened last week, or the sewers got clogged up, correct? If you live next to a sewer line, most likely your house got flooded. The basement got, a lot of people's basements got flooded. But that's not what I want to speak about. I want to speak about a lot of times the sewer lines, if they don't clean them out, it starts smelling, correct? Tell me, if I live at the end of the block and the sewer line is on the other end of the block, why do I have to smell it? Can you tell me? What does it have to do with me?
Because the smell travels. What do you mean?
Well, again, it's over there. Let it stay there. Why do you have to come to me?
Because you use the sewer line, so you have to, be,
I don't. I came from
respectful.
New Jersey. I came from New Jersey to visit
You're
Jigarik.
connected.
I came from New Jersey to visit Jigarik. What does it have to do with me? Now, Rabotai, I'm about to share with you something very important. Now, I want you guys just to contemplate what I'm saying. Don't have any questions. Don't think anything. Allow yourselves to go into the shoes or go into the world of Torah. Allow the Torah to go ahead and let it speak to you. Now, I want to share with you today, and Parshat Noach is going to speak about the danger. You got to get ready for this? The danger of having bad people around you. Just like you could understand a sewer line is able to affect you, if you have people, for example, that are negative, that are always complaining, whining, you should know Chas v'shalom, something bad could also happen to you because you're in their vicinity. You actually feel it sometimes, correct? Elon muted? Yeah, thank you. You're with me, Jiggy? You see how this works? We have to remember that our surroundings makes us who we are. The Gemara says if you want to become, not smart, basically the Gemara says if you want to become stupid, rub your shoulders with stupid people. You want to become smart, rub your shoulders with smart people. You want to become rich, rub your shoulders with rich people. That's how it works. Whoever your surrounding is.
What if you want to become righteous, Rabbi?
So you surround. Yeah, very good. You got it. Very good. I like that. So you surround yourself with righteous people. Correct. You got to surround yourself with righteous people. Correct. I agree with you. I just want to show you today how we should not take our surroundings for granted, because you have to remember what they do does have effect on you unless you take action that it shouldn't have effect on you. I'm going to give you one example. There was, I forgot the name of the rabbi. He used to have people, they used to come to him and they used to complain to him, correct? They used to tell him this, they used to tell him this, whatever. When they would leave, he would have a bucket next to him, Jigarik. He would spit in the tissue and then he would throw it in the garbage. And every single time, this is what he used to do. So one of the students asked him, says, I don't understand, why are you always spitting after you have these conversations with people? He says, because I don't want their ideology to affect me. So I'm not accepting what they're telling me. You understand? You have to understand, if we don't filter what goes into our system, we'll be affected also by it. And that is very important to know. So I want to share with you in Parshat Noach. It says over there, listen what the language is. Doesn't make sense, but let me read through what the Torah says, and then we're going to try to elaborate on it. It states in the Torah, "Vayar Elohim et haaretz, v'hine nishchata." Hashem saw the land. This was in the days of Noach, when the generation of the flood. Hashem saw the land, and it was corrupt. You ready for this? Ki hishchid kol basar et darko al haaretz. For all flesh had corrupted its ways on earth. Vayomer Elokim leNoach, and Hashem said to Noach, Ketz kol basar balefanai, the end of every flesh has come before me, meaning I want to destroy. Meaning I want to destroy. Why am I hearing myself? Okay. Meaning I want to destroy myself. I want to destroy the earth. I want to destroy the world. I want to destroy all living things. Ki mela'ah ha'aretz chamas mipnehem, v'hineni mashchitam et ha'aretz. Listen to this, Jigarik. For the earth is filled with lawlessness because of them, and I want to destroy the whole land. The reason why HaKadosh Baruch Hu decided to destroy the generation of Noach was because there was no laws. People weren't following laws. People were doing whatever they want to do. You ever hear this, Shigarik? Why can't I do whatever I want to do? You can do whatever you want to do. There's rules and regulations. You can't drive whatever you want to drive. I mean, you can't drive, you take a Lamborghini and start driving fast on the local street. Right? Even when it comes to medication, you can't take as much as, antibiotics you want. Everything has to be given in measurements. So there is a sefer that's called Lev Eliyahu by Rabbi Eliyahu Lopian. He was born in 1876 to 1970. Jigarik, why am I telling you the year? He was speaking about in his time. You imagine, Jigarik, 1876, that's when he was born. 1970 he passed away. Look what he said. He brings down the Chazal and Bereshit Rabbah, and he says over there in the name of Rabbi Zari B'Shem, what's his name? Let me see over here. Rabbi Yehuda Bar Simon. He said that Rabbi Zari said in the name of Rabbi Yehuda, the son of Simon. He says over there like this: Hakol kilkulu ma'asehem bidor hamabul. Everybody's ways was corrupt in the generation of the flood. He says the dog, instead of mating with the dog, it went and it mated with the wolf. The rooster, instead of mating with the chicken, it went and it mated with the peacock. Now, how do we know, Jigarik, that it was even animals that the ways were corrupt? Because if you look into the Torah says, Ki hishchid kol basar. Kol adam in kitiv kan. El ki hishchid kol basar. It doesn't say every single person, his ways were corrupt. Rather, it says every single flesh, their ways were corrupt, including even animals. Do you guys understand this or not? Okay. So says Rabbi Eliyahu Lopian, he continues with the measure, he says, Rabbi Luliani, the son of Tavirin, said, in the name of Rabbi Yitzchak, you should know even the land, even the aretz, even the earth, also in the air, and he did znut. How did he do znut? The Midrash says that when you planted a kernel of wheat, Ilan, it would not give you wheat back out. It would give you a wheat that was called darnel. It was something else. It didn't even Says Rabbi Eliyahu Lopian, Rabotai, listen how dangerous this is. Ro'in anu mikan mefurish. We see from here openly, shegamash eshchito ba'alei chayim et darkam al haaretz garam lavi alahem et mei hamabul. Rabotai, this is what the animals went ahead and they corrupted their ways, it also caused the Mabul, it also caused the flood to come on that generation. Now let me ask you, Ilan, did they do anything? They were bad. But not only that, because of other things Hashem decreed that the generation of the flood should be wiped away.
It's like they grandfathered in.
Correct. So he says over here, he says it's a very big problem. You have to understand this. How does this work? It doesn't make sense. Why are you punishing animals if they sin? Since when do animals have free will? We have free will. We have to do what's right, what's wrong. But since when do animals have free will? Not only that, he says another thing needs explanation. Since when did the animals go ahead and change their nature to go with other animals and do illicit relations with other animals? How much more so the land, which is only, it's a matter, it's not even living, it's standing. How can you explain that they even did znut? Rabotai, you have to understand, it is so severe, what goes on, we don't even realize what's happening. When the people of Noah's time, they started, their ways started to become corrupt, they had such influence that it even passed down to animals and even Ilan to the ground. What did they do? What did they do? But that is how much influence negativity or people that sin can have on you. So you might think, I'm in a certain place, what am I doing wrong? But if you're in a certain place and people are going against Hashem, it is having influence on your neshama. You think it's not doing anything, but you don't understand how much it's destroying you. Now wait a minute, we didn't do anything, Ilan. You ready for this? Says Rabbi Eliyahu Lopian, he says a beautiful case that happened in his lifetime. When he was in yeshiva, he says when he was young and he learned in yeshiva in Lumza, he says you should know there was one Beit Cholim. Beit Cholim is a hospital. There was a hospital. Mark, listen to this. In this hospital, they never changed the wood. The building was an old building, a rusty building. Nothing going. Everybody would come over the Ilan. You know how it is. You know when it's the last step out. You know they send you there. They know you're leaving. That's it. But something strange happened over there, which was not normal. He said people that were coming in just to get healed and were supposed to come out because there was hope for them, got even more sicker there, and nobody understood why. Now all the people in the community, everybody was shocked. How could it be we are sending our parents, our siblings, right, our relatives, friends? This is a hospital that's supposed to heal. It's not supposed to kill. But people are becoming more sick, and they're dying. So what did they do? They brought the best professors. They brought the best professors to see what the sickness is. I don't know how many of you guys ever been in Panama. When they were building the Panama Canal over there, they showed the whole thing. They spoke about that before, the building, people were getting sick, not knowing from where the sickness is coming. There was a certain plant that was making people sick until they figured out, but a lot of people died. The professors, listen to this, it's gonna blow your mind. The professors, they lived in that community for a few months, year, 2 years, trying to figure out the problem. Nothing was happening, but you have to remember, money's being spent. Money's coming in. One day, Mark, listen what happened. One day, one of the professors said, there's a problem over here. How old is this building? Can somebody tell me? How old is this building already? Nobody answered. So they asked somebody else. They didn't have the answer. So said, one of the people in the community said, this building might have been even hundreds of years old. It was made of old wood. Old wood. So one of the professors made a test. They took the wood and they put it under under the eye, microscope. They started seeing of the Ilan Haidakim, bacteria, germs.
Termites.
But these germs were not regular germs. These germs were coming from people that were once sick in that hospital, and now they came to that hospital, and from them it went onto the walls, onto the beams. So when new patients came to get healed, those bacteria, those germs lashed onto the people, and that's how they were becoming sicker and sicker. So what did they do? Once they found this out, they took out all the patients. They took this building, they took it out of the city, they broke it, demolished it, out of the city, even the dirt. They burnt everything not to have a remnant of it. Now listen to this. Says Rabbi Eliyahu Lopian, he says, if this is like this by the sickness of the body, you know you have viruses today, correct, Yaakov? You see people sneeze, you think you could become sick, correct? You have viruses. You go to the doctor, let it pass. And what if it doesn't pass? Let it pass. What if it doesn't pass? Says Rabbi Eliyahu Lopian something very fascinating. He says, if this is by bacteria, by physical bacteria, that's able to kill people, that's able to harm people, how much more so, chas v'shalom, when a person sins, Ilan, you cause spiritual bacteria that not only is going to kill you, but it's also going to affect the person next to you. Now we can understand what does it mean, oil rashav, oil shechino. Woe to the evil person, woe to his neighbor. You might be a tzaddik, doesn't matter. If your neighbor is a wicked neighbor, it's going to affect you. Look how dangerous this is. There's a sefer that's called Sharik Kedusha. He says, we think by making a sin, what am I doing, right? How's that affecting me? He says, you don't understand every single sin we do, it actually affects a certain limb in our body. So people don't realize why they're becoming sick. People don't realize why they're dying. People don't realize why they're always constantly having aches and this and sickness and they have to go to a doctor. Take this medication, take that medication. They don't realize it is because of a person's sins. This is why people become sick. Now, that's what the Sefer Shari Kedusha says. But from what we're learning today, it's not only the person himself could become sick, Yaakov. The person can affect another person even in his own family. Yesterday, I was somewhere yesterday. I'm not going to say where. So somebody told me, like, Rabbi, you know, there's a certain person, he's very religious. But his wife doesn't want to hear of it. She doesn't want to cover her hair. She doesn't want to put on a skirt. She doesn't want to be modest. She doesn't want to go to the mikvah. She doesn't want to eat kashrut. She doesn't want to do anything. He said, whatever. So the person asked me, like, Rabbi, what would you do in such a situation? My wife was next to me. And what would I do in such a situation? I mean, it depends. It honestly depends if she's affecting your lifestyle. I mean, I was thinking about there at that time when I was asked this question, I'm like, 1 second, if she's not making me sin, okay, pray to Hashem that she'll become better. But if she's making me sin, what's there what to talk about? I can't live with such a person. But from today, when I start looking into this matter more, I realize something else. We don't realize whether it's going to be the husband that's not shomer Torah and mitzvot, or whether it's going to be the wife, or whether it's going to be the children. We affect one another. It's like we're one body. If something's wrong with this hand, you're going to feel it. Chas v'shalom, something's wrong with this hand, you're going to feel it. Something's wrong with the legs, you're going to feel it. You're going to have a headache, you're going to feel it. Your whole body feels it. This is how dangerous it is. He says, he says, when it comes to bacteria of impurity, of sins, from a sick soul which sins, he says you should know, listen to the language, ודאי שבכוחם להרעיל את האוויר בטומאה, וזהו מלאין ערף ושיעור. You should know for sure, this type of bacteria, the spiritual bacteria, when a person sins, it has the strength to poison the air with its impurity and the filth, unlimited, without any limit. So now you have to ask yourself, is it worth it for me to be in a place where they go against Hashem? This is what you have to ask your question. It's not about right now, I want to show them honor, they want to show me. Right now you're endangering your life. Why in the world would you put yourself where you could become sick? You know, Yaakov, sometimes I go to shul, I daven, correct? Or I go, you have a guy who sneezes. It's one thing if he closes his mouth. But if you don't know, should I move? Should you not embarrass him? What should you do? Like, you know, people don't have seichel today. You know, they sneeze in the open. Especially Yaakov is by the coffee station. Forget about it. You guys just don't see it. Because you guys come 8 o'clock. You don't come 6 o'clock. You don't come 5 o'clock in the morning. But you don't know this. You don't know, so you sleep much better at night, correct? But I'm asking you, why are we afraid of physical bacteria over spiritual bacteria? Why, when it comes to spiritual bacteria, we're not afraid of? Why is that? How's that possible? This is not a joke. We have to be very careful when it comes to surrounding with ourselves with the people that go against Hashem. That's what you got to, like we mentioned earlier. Now you could understand, woe to the wicked person. If it's bad for him, woe to the neighbor is going to be bad also for the neighbor. What did the neighbor do, Shigari? I'll tell you what he did. You were not supposed to be there to begin with. That's what the problem is, you understand? We think, oh, what am I? I'm not doing nothing. I'm just sitting there. I'm just looking. I'm just supporting. You will, Rabotai, be afflicted. You will be affected by other people, what they do.
Rabbi, what about the chuppah? Can we go to the chuppah?
Let me tell you something. If you bemet knew that somebody is trampling, let's say there's a car that's running over people, would you go and just stand and watch?
No, if you were invited to go to the chuppah.
I'm asking you a question. If you see a car ramming people, would you go and stand? Why not? Would you do something about it? Yes.
I would try. I would try.
Why in the world would I want to attend a chuppah where the people over there, not 100, not 500, 600, 700 people are going openly against Hashem after the chuppah? Why in the world would I want to be in such a place? So this is what I thought about yesterday. I don't want to tell you where I was, but this is what I dealt with yesterday. They want to say, you could go to the chuppah, you could go to the chuppah, it's Baba Mises. Huh?
Allahically, are we allowed to go to the chuppah? Allahically.
Where? Which kind of chuppah, Yaakov?
Let's say this can be a mixed wedding afterwards, but before, for the chuppah, a real chuppah.
My
Men
answer?
sitting separately, women sitting separately.
My answer, first of all, even with the women that are sitting separately over there, the ones that are come in modest, they sit in the middle row, cross their legs so you guys can look at them, you understand? That's a problem. That's also a problem.
We can't control what people wear, Rob.
Beautiful. I'm not telling you to control what people wear. You shouldn't be there to begin with.
So every single wedding that
You
we're going to
could
get invited
control
to
where you
for a
could be,
chuppah,
Yaakov.
can't we go to the chuppah?
Yaakov, you could control where you could be. You don't got to control other people, but you could control where you have to be. Even the religious, I'll be honest with Yaakov, even the religious weddings that I go to, I will never ever sit in the aisle seat. You won't see, chas v'shalom. Believe me, right there, you have all the women, they're not every woman comes over there modest. No, they don't come modest. Either I'll be all the way in the back, or I'll be on the other side, or I'll be all the way in the front. You don't have to be where the women are. It's a problem, Yaakov. I always speak to consult your local rabbi, in my humble opinion, to attend a chuppah.
Only chuppah, and then walk away.
Yeah, only chuppah
leave.
and then walk away, knowing the churban, the destruction that's going to be after, is a problem by me. Why aren't you protesting against them? Why aren't you showing that it hurts you?
It's not going to change. By me protesting is not going to change anything.
Believe me, if you don't go and I don't go and he doesn't go and she doesn't go and another 500 people don't go, there's going to be no wedding. There's going to be no wedding. Trust me, there's going to be no wedding. But what? Everybody's afraid, you understand? That's the bottom line. Everybody's afraid to do what's right. But listen, there are consequences for what we do. You got to be strong, you got to be bold, you got to be courageous. You got to do what is right. You understand? You have to do what is right in the eyes of Hashem, because in the end, Yaakov, nobody cares, nobody will be there for you, only you, Hashem, your Torah and your mitzvot, even your wife, your children, they won't, the maximum they're going to do is bring you down to the grave, and that's where they're going to leave you, and you're by yourself. You understand?
Kaddish, Rav. Don't forget Kaddish.
Kaddish, if they say it correctly, and if they don't do other stupid things, yes, Kaddish should help, correct. If they say it correctly. You know how many people say Kaddish wrong today? You ever seen them how they say it? You have any idea what the Chacham Ovadia writes on it? You know Chacham Ovadia, even when he was sitting Shiva Loleinu, you know that he didn't say Kaddish every single time because he was afraid? You know what it means to be a Chazan? You have any idea what it means to be a Chazan? Today, Yaakov, everything's up for grabs, you understand? We do whatever we want, whenever we want. That's a very big problem. So no, I would never.
So if they say one word improperly, doesn't count.
Say it again.
If they say Kaddish, even one word improperly,
100% doesn't count.
Because a lot of people say it wrong. I hear it too.
You're right. So that's why
they don't pronounce the words properly.
That's it. They have to be taught. You understand? People have to teach them these things. Not speak about stories and everything else. We have to make groups where we can educate the elderly or people that know how to read. It's our job to go ahead and educate them. You understand?
Got it.
Not only be concerned by taking their money, we also have to try to help them. We got to help these people. These people, they're not at fault. They're not at fault. How are they supposed to know how to read? You think they know how to read? Just because it's transliterated into Russian and English, you think they know how to read? I was in the shul the other day in Mincha, on certain shul on Main Street. The guy comes up to me, he says, I said, what's this? He's like, let me know when there's Kaddish, because he has to say Kaddish for his father. So I said, okay, after Olay Mushabech, he said, I don't know what Olay Mushabech is. Just tell me when I have to say Kaddish. So you know Ashkenazi, they say Kaddish after Olay Mushabech. So now he said, okay, should I say it now? With the Chazan? I said, no, you gotta wait. And then he's like, again, every 2 minutes he was bothering me. But in the end, even when he said it, he didn't say it 100%. You understand? That is very smart. If the rabbi of the shul, somebody who has to say Kaddish, should say it out loud, slowly, so other people can follow and hear. You understand? Yid gadal v'yid kadash merabah. Not yid kadal. People don't say gadal. Ka. They say ka. They don't say
Right,
gadal.
I hear that
It's a very
too.
big problem. You can't answer amen on these things. Absolutely not. I forgot. I think it's a Rav Chaim. The Rav Chaim brings down. He says when you say Kaddish the wrong way, you know what you do? You bring your father further into Gehenna and then to take him out. You have any idea? People have to learn. We're wasting a lot of time. We are wasting a lot of time in this world. I'm telling you, we're wasting a lot of time. I'm not speaking about nobody else. I speak for myself. I'm not speaking about nobody else. I speak for myself. Anyway, Rabotai, if you guys have any questions, I'll take it. But you should know, the right thing to do is to always say no, Jigarik. Because remember, tomorrow your kids are growing up, correct? How are you going to tell your children not to be pushed by peer pressure, not to be pressured? Say no. You know what he's going to tell you? How come when you had to say no, you didn't say no? What are you going to do? What are you going to do?
You're in trouble.
That's it. Always, Rabotai, your actions have a reaction. The action that you take today will have a reaction with your children tomorrow. It's not so pashut, not so pashut. Remember, spiritual bacteria and physical bacteria. It's very, very important.
Rabbi, I have a question, halachic question, completely off topic.
Go ahead.
If a person, let's say, ate dates, a kazayid, and then he forgot to say the after blessing, so he went outside, he's driving somewhere, and he realized half hour into it, can he say it on the road?
Yeah. If you can't go back, we're gonna be there. We're gonna allow you to do it there. Correct. We're gonna allow you to do it there. Correct.
But if he comes back, he should say it in the place where he came back.
Correct.
How much time does he have?
Basically, it goes after the digestion. Usually 72 minutes, but usually how long it takes that the food digests in your system.
Okay, so then he shouldn't do it because he's going to be in doubt?
No, you should half an hour. Half an hour is not a problem.
Okay, on the road, he's driving on the road?
It's going to cause you, it's out of your way, do it there and that's it. Just make sure next time that it doesn't happen. Put a note.
Okay.
Okay, Rabbi, I'll speak to you.
All right, thank you.
Okay, bye.
Thank you.
Bye. I'll see you guys.
Thank you, bye-bye.
I'll see you.
Love you.
Bye, guys. I'll see you.